Hi everybody, my name is Ben. I don't know if you guys know me or don't know me or not, but a little bit of background. Probably about my second year at college, so probably about 2004, so a decent amount of time ago. I kind of wasn't really happy with myself. I was about 140 pounds, suppressed, had X drama. I was kind of a social outcast, and I just wasn't happy. So what do you do when you're not happy when the internet, in the internet age, you go online, you go like, how to make friends, enter, right? Thanks. And so I kind of got into the scene that way, and I started reading life coaching, business books, so like how to succeed, win friends, like how to start by Guy Kawasaki, and then of course the industry, so the game and things like that. It's funny though, I kind of went a little bit on the back end where I came to the game after I read like 8 or 9 books and like was working on myself through internal development and life improvement. But I eventually got into the community where I started working kind of like out there at the bars and stuff. And then in about 2009, kind of got recruited at a bar. I don't know if you meet people that kind of do the same thing that you do. And I got brought into a company. So I started running the men's programs, the teleseminars, I moderated forums, and phone coaching. Did that for about a year. Really disliked where it was going. I hate the whole objectification. I hate the whole fuck as many bitches as possible, which is why this topic was like, okay, well, it's really important, but the overall scheme of things is to focus on your internal development and understand that this is a process and that all of you right now can go to a bar and take someone home. It's not a question, right? It can happen. This is hopefully going to improve the chances of that, but the overall picture is you're on a journey right now, and it's awesome that you're here, and this is just one part of it, right? So once this gets conquered, and once you're happy with this step, there's so many other steps. It's so much of a larger picture that you guys are going to go to, or maybe you're at already. So then after that, I started writing for Examiner.com because I wasn't really happy with the company. I've been writing for them since 2011. And I got hired to freelance for AskMen.com, so I write for them. I published a book in 2012 called The Essentials, which I'll talk about later if you guys want, as well as participate and get a copy. And then I basically co-founded Suave. So we have a podcast out. It's been going on for about a year now. We run boot camps, we do phone coaching, email coaching, etc., things like that. You know about me, I know about you. Hopefully you guys all know each other as well. You guys know? Let's get going. First I want to say is that you all can take someone home. You all can go to a bar and sleep with someone tonight, tomorrow, next week. The main thing you have to remember is to stay calm. The moment you start freaking out, the moment you start getting in your own head, is the moment you really will not know what to say. Your adrenaline will be pumping. You're going to start to panic. Everyone's like, oh, get pumped up, go approach. No, guys, like, literally be calm in your head. Like you were talking about, you were so calm when you were speaking and meditating almost. That's kind of how you have to do when you're out. Like your energy level can be high, but mentally you just have to be chill. You have to be just be very relaxed. Okay? I can go in at you won't be self-aware. You won't be seeing what's going on if all you're thinking about is your adrenaline and trying to get pumped up and trying to go approach and trying to beat that kind of approach anxiety that you have. So first off, before any of this, talk to your cashiers, talk to people on the street, talk to people without any sexual intent to make sure that you have that down. That you have that. I can go into a bar and I can literally just go up to someone and say, how's your day going? Because literally with taking someone home, that's what you're doing. You're literally going in completely and utterly just playing in a way to gauge their attitude first. And so as long as you can approach calmly, you have the first step in things. So I want to do a quick exercise. I know you guys are talking, but has anyone here recently or in the past taken someone home on the first night they've met them? Yeah, this is someone awesome. See? Yeah, really good. Okay. So maybe 2 people that want to answer some questions real quick. You got first volunteer. Anyone? It's not going to be a long story, literally a couple questions. Okay. So say that one more time. These are the 5 questions I'm going to ask you and one other person. So where were you?
In Madison, Wisconsin.
You lived in Madison? Were you living? You were
Yeah.
living?
Yeah, I went to like school at
So it was
Madison.
college?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Was it like a college bar?
Yeah, we were going to a college bar, yeah.
Cool. You stopped her on the street?
Actually, I met her like at a pregame. I worked with a friend of hers, and I was invited to a pregame and met her at the pregame.
Awesome. So at that pregame, you had that nice kind of friendship circle. What was her attitude?
Just, like, not necessarily focusing on her, but just like to have a fun time, like to enjoy my evening.
No, her attitude.
Oh, what was her attitude?
Yeah. Good attitude, by the way, but what's her attitude?
Yeah, what was her? Friendly, but also sassy in some instances.
Was she playful? Was she having fun?
Yeah. And then there was a couple times where I was like, oh, she's playful.
Kind of a bitch.
Yeah.
But she wasn't like walking away from you.
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So who was she with? So with your friends?
Yeah.
And then, do you know what she had to do the next day at all? It was a Friday night, so
yeah. The next day was a game.
Sleep till 3 p.m. and
probably get up and get drunk or something.
And where did you end up taking her?
Her house.
Cool. Did she have roommates?
She did.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Did any of them join you, actually?
I wish they had.
Cool. Awesome. Cool though, by the way. That's awesome. Walk of shame in a girl's house. I love that. So, do you still talk to her?
Yeah.
Not that it matters. Cool. Okay. Yeah. You?
Yeah. So, fireplace in Old Town. That bar.
This is a cooler story in a sense.
Her initial attitude was, I'd say, surprise at the approach. For that reason, I don't know, just sort of surprise and confusion. She was with work friends.
Surprise is like taking it back negative, or taking it back like, why are you approaching me, or like, is there a positive aspect to it?
It certainly wasn't negative. I asked her if she would consider this the back right corner of the bar. So as far as this.
And she was with.
Just
being behind the bar right now, you're blocking my way.
I was trying to get information.
Where's the bathroom? Who was she with?
Work friends.
Okay. And do you know what she had to do the next day?
I never came out.
Okay. And where do you end up taking her?
My place.
Okay. So there's a couple factors that are the same in both of these stories, probably in some of your stories, unless it's a very unique circumstance, right? And those happen. Unique circumstances happen, but we're trying to play them out. Like, we're trying to play, how can we get the most out of our nights, right? How can we take someone home in the quickest and easiest way possible? Okay? And the two factors are always, what's your attitude, what's your mindset, and what are the logistics? Is it logistically possible? You don't have both. Like, it's not that it's not going to happen, but what times do people normally go out? Like, I go out around midnight. I'll go to, like, if it's a weekday, bars will be open to 2 or 3, so I have 2 or 3 hours to take someone home. If it's a Saturday, I don't want to go any earlier than midnight, because if I'm going to a 5 a.m. place, or, I'm going to be talking to someone at 10 p.m., and the best I can do is get their phone number, because no one's going to leave the bar at 10 p.m. to go fuck you. Like, very rarely will happen. It usually will happen towards, like, the end of the night when everyone's kind of made their way or dropped off. And so you're just going to be wasting time. The whole point of taking someone home the first night you meet them is to make the most of your time. If you're talking to someone and their attitude's shitty like the first 30 seconds, and you push through it, and then 15 minutes later they're finally warming up to you, and then 30 minutes later they're finally touching you. Like, great, you just wasted a half an hour, but then you find out her boyfriend's there. Cool, right? That's like 45 minutes down the drain, and now you have another 3 hours left. So the point of this is all, so how can I take someone home in the quickest way possible while meeting the most people? Okay? So how do you find out their attitude? So there's a book called Blink, actually kind of similar to the genre of the 4-Hour Workweek by Malcolm Gladwell. I read it, it's great. It says there can be as much value in the blink of an eye as in months of rational analysis. Before you even approach a girl, you should be looking at what's going on. This whole 3-second rule thing, yeah, I get it. It's great. If you make eye contact with a girl, go approach her, go talk to her. But you really should kind of take a full picture of the scene. Is she sitting by herself, which is a great person to go talk to because she's either waiting for someone or she's looking to go home with someone. It's usually the two cases. And by talking to someone just really easily, hey, what's going on, you'll figure that out pretty quickly. And when it comes to attitude, isn't the first opener that you're saying to her, like I said, it should be really easy. It should be really simple. It's not going to be long and drawn out. It's going to be, hey, you seem really fun. And then you could say, wait, I don't know about those shoes, though. And then you start talking to her. And is she going to be negative or is she going to be positive? If she's going to be positive, you already know that it's on. And then you're going to move into finding out her logistics. You don't have to go, oh, I have this really long opinion opener for a couple minutes. You're just wasting your time. You can work on attraction and sexual escalation after you find out if she has a positive attitude and she's ready to go home with you. A lot of girls will go out and not want to go home. You don't want to spend the hour pushing through those defense mechanisms to get her to be in a positive mindset. There are enough girls out that are in a positive mindset. They go out ready to sleep with someone. And it's about finding that girl with the right attitude and the right logistics. So how do you find out her logistics? Oh, by the way. Thank you guys for participating. There you go. So there's a couple questions that we can ask to figure out logistics. Literally 3 questions. It's really simple. What do you guys think you could ask to find out if someone's able to go home with you tonight? Yes. I like you being proactive. You get a book too. Okay, cool. So, literally 3 questions. Right? Who are you with? How do you know each other? And what are you doing after? Who are you with? She's with her boyfriend. This happened to me twice last night. I wasn't looking to take someone home last night. I was out at a club. I danced with a girl for literally 15 minutes. All of a sudden, her boyfriend shows up. She's like, I'm sorry. And runs off to her boyfriend. If I was trying to take her home that night, I would have been like, hey, who are you waiting for? What are you up to? I would have avoided that entire situation. There's also a lot of bachelorette parties out. Right? I also bartend part-time. And so you'll see that there's a couple girls that can get away from the bachelorette party, but a lot of them can't. Or people that from out of town. I hit on a girl, and all of a sudden she's driving back to Michigan. I had like a 45-minute window to go do whatever I wanted, and then she was gone. And so who are you with is really important. How do you know each other? Again, that relationship. And then what are you doing after? Now, if she says, I don't know, what are you doing? She's open. Or she's going to another club. There's another chance to meet up. But she probably has plans. She probably can't pitch out. And you can figure out as well if she has to do stuff in the morning from that question as well. Now, if any of these questions are not good, but her attitude's awesome, get her number. Get her number. I'll talk to you later. She can be a number you can text later at the end of the night if things don't work out. But she can still be a date. And she's probably pretty fucking cool if she has a great positive attitude. Right? And she just can't fuck that up. Big deal, right? You have a good time with her. Just don't waste time. By the way, you guys can ask questions or have a conversation. This is a discussion, so feel free to raise your voice. So let's say the attitude and the logistics are on point. What do you have to do next? As I mentioned earlier, you have to attract and escalate. Because now things are good, right? Escalator to sex, pretty much, right? There's 2 things that always play a role in escalation, and that's verbal and physical. They're very much combined. While you're being verbal and physical, while you're trying to escalate, you have to be attractive. And there's a really just simple way to remember, am I being attractive, right? And so it's called the royal flush. I thought of this the other day, I gambled too. So you're a 10, right? We always talk about girls being 10s. Okay? We always, oh, she's a 10, man. She's fucking hot. So what makes a girl a 10? She's fucking dressed sexy. So guys, don't go out if you're not dressed sexy. You're looking to take someone home, and you can take someone home in sweatpants. You can be in the line of Whole Foods and be talking about muffins and end up getting a blowjob in the back refrigerator, whatever porno scene you want to imagine. Things are possible, things happen, right? Craziest things happen. But if you want to improve your chances, be a 10, right? Be dressed to the nines in a way. Whatever the way that you think makes you look great, or get a girl's opinion. Be groomed. Have your haircut. Be shaved. Brush your teeth. It's all about feeling confident as well as being perceived as someone that's attractive. So a gesture, right? What does a gesture do? He entertains. And I hate that word entertain, as your job isn't to entertain when you're out. But it is to be prepared, right? to be to be entertaining, but not to be a clown. So you need to prepare before you go out. Know what you're going to say to a girl you're trying to sleep with. Know if you're going to say, hey, you seem fun. I don't know about that. What is that necklace? Know what you're going to say. Know exactly what you're going to say when you first approach a girl. One or two things. Okay? Be confident with that, so you don't have to be in your own head. And then have 2 or 3 transition stories. Like right now in my life, if I was to go up to a girl and have to tell a story, I would ask a question about being in a relationship and going on vacation. So I have that going on right now with someone that I'm not really in a relationship with, but I want to go to Vegas. And so it's like it calls this huge scene, right? So I'm going to place it on somebody else, and I'm going to ask a girl about it. Or ask her about anything about what do you think about graduate school? Or what do you think, usually I go to sexual stuff. What do you think about even just threesomes, or what's your favorite superhero? Or if I was talking about what do you if you had to live, would you rather live one day over and over again, or would you rather live an entire lifetime? Just things that you can kind of transfer into and talk about, things that are really, really simple, that you already know what you're going to say when you go out. So make sure that you're prepared. Next is the weight. I hate putting people on pedestals, but I can give a girl shit about her shoes, but I can still pull out her chair. So every girl that you meet, even though you want to just take them to the back room and do horrible things to them, you still should treat them chivalrously. They still are a queen. So when you're talking to a girl, you're looking into her eyes, right? If you're going to make a sexual innuendo, then yeah, you can look down at her breasts and look at her waist. But you're giving her the attention she deserves because she's the person you want to take home. And then king. King's pretty obvious. You're going to be confident. In every move you make, there's no hesitation. If I'm going to go to a girl and say, oh, you're naughty. Wait, I can see those horns. I'm grabbing her head. Oh my God, is that a tail? I'm grabbing her waist and turning. Oh, you look so much better under this light. I'm moving her to the side. There's no hesitation in your movements. Women can sense hesitation. You play sports, right? So you guys play sports before. The moment you hesitate, you're going to miss. You're going to lose. Someone's going to steal the ball from you, or you're going to falter. Every movement that you make, you have to be kingly. Right? Your presence is kingly. You're confident. Everything going on in your head right now, you're so prepared. You know what you're going to say. You know you're attractive. It's all just confidence. It's all just, I am just great. I hate saying that word, but you have to be a king. Next is attitude, pace. No matter what happens, no matter if the girl brushes you aside, no matter if she throws water in your face, the worst thing that's ever happened to me in public with a girl is that I can slapped. And it was someone who grew at health, and it was 4 years ago. But I laughed at it. Literally laughed. No matter what anyone does or says to you, that's probably the worst that's going to happen. It doesn't matter. It's funny. They're screening themselves out. They're not going to be an option. That's great. You just learned that they're not someone that you're going to take home. Awesome. I have an extra 25 minutes that I could have wasted talking with you. So make sure that when you're out, your attitude's positive. I don't care if I'm making fun of someone. I'm making fun of someone and grabbing them around the shoulder. Okay? Everything you do. They make fun of me. Oh, really? Why are you trying to convince yourself not to sleep with me? Everything that you do is positive. Right? And you're gonna, even if the person's attitude is negative, the logistics are off. If you say, awesome, great, have a great night, I'll see you later. Just make sure it's gonna change the game completely. If you've ever been, it's gonna change your mindset. I don't know how many times when I first started in the field and I got blown out in a way, I got turned down. I was like, fuck, my whole night was hurt. It's funny, spit it out. Literally, have something with your friends. If I see my friend really angry, ever, I go spit it out. It's so fucking childish. Spit it out. They spit it out, they laugh. You can slap them across the face. So once you're attractive, and you remember this, you're going to be attractive. Escalate sexually. And like I said before, it's a verbal and physical escalation. Everything she says to you means she wants to sleep with you. And it's just remember that. Everything she's saying means she wants to sleep with you. It's going to help you be able to play with her words. She's calling you a player. If she's saying, you're not going to sleep with me tonight, you go, why? Get your mind out of the gutter. Come on, we're not there yet. You haven't bought me dinner. Like, you have to misperceive, sexually misinterpret everything she says. Okay? You have to, when you're talking to a girl, when you're escalating with her, you are creating a sexual frame. If you don't create it, it's like kissing a girl at her door after you haven't touched her the whole time. It doesn't seem right, right? You should kiss a girl within the first, 15, 20 minutes of talking with her, either on the cheek, on the neck, on the lips, on the forehead as a joke, right? Everything that you're doing is setting the sexual frame. So when you get her in your bed, or her bed, you basically already had sex with her in a way. And you already touched every part of her body. You've already kissed her. The moment you get home and you haven't had any physical touch with her, it's just going to seem wrong. She's not going to feel comfortable with you. So here we have a couple areas of escalation. And I was going to ask if you could rank them, but as I was kind of going through this, I realized that each one of these, depending on how you touch and the context that you touch, can mean something completely different. So I have big tits. I know I have big tits. And so when I'm at a bar, this happened a couple weeks ago, a girl literally just grabbed my tits. And this happens a lot. So what I've just started doing is grabbing their tits. And I'm not doing it sexually. I'm not saying anything sexually. I'm not trying to take them home. They touch my tits, I'm going to touch their tits. So all of a sudden, a very sexual, intimate touch doesn't seem intimate. And it seems funny. But I just touched her fucking tit. How many people in that bar have touched her tit? So what classification am I in now? What type of guy am I in her life? Okay. So what chance now do I have of taking her home if I want to escalate sexually? The same thing with the small of the back. You can caress it or hit with the back of your hand. Some other fun ways of going to a girl, and this was actually just out of the girl. Hey, keep doing this with me. You know, please. Yes. Cool. So there's something, whenever you're talking to a girl too, like the thing I said with the horns, or the tail, or you could even just thumb wrestle, everyone knows this, to spin. Everything you're saying, if I'm talking to a girl, I'm incorporating touch. One of the things that I like to do is if someone doesn't want to high five you, it happens, right? People are kind of over the high five. I go, oh, you're a low five girl. And go to them. Right? Everything that happens to you is positive. Someone turns your high five down and go, oh, you're a low five girl. You're misinterpreting, right? She obviously wants something else. She's not turning you down. She's not turning you down. So once you have the attraction, you've escalated sexually, the attitude's there, logistics are great. Who thinks it's time to take her home? Who thinks that there's something else to do? Raise your hands. Who thinks it's time to take her home? Everyone's like, it's a trick question. Does anyone know what else you have to do? Unless she's literally like, I'm going to stuff your dick in the back alley outside this club right now.
Maybe you kind of feel her out.
So it's building trust. It's building trust. And there's a very fine line with building trust. Okay? Because you don't want to be seen as a boyfriend. Everyone's like, oh, I'm going to get her talking about her family, right? I'm going to get her talking about her career and all those types of things, right? No. The one thing that you have to do is she needs to know that, one, you're not going to defile her name, right? You're not going to ruin her social status as a woman. So it's good. You probably don't even know her, so that's fine. You can even bring up the fact that you hate people that, talk too much about their sexual experiences. You can bring that up in conversation. But the one thing that you have to do to build trust is to get her talking about her passions. And the one thing that always gets people talking about their passions, right, or whatever, is to talk about yours. And so in the beginning of this conversation, we kind of voiced out loud what our passions were. So figure out a way, when she's attracted to you, when you've escalated sexually, when the logistics are good, when the attitude's great, that you can go take her to the side. If she has friends, you go, hey, just 1 second, you know what? I'm gonna take her right over there right now for a few minutes. If I don't come back, please send out a search party. She did it, okay? Get her friend's approval. If not, just take her to the side. Hey, I want to talk to you real quick. Move her to the side, isolate her from the environment, and bring out your passions. I want to tell you something. I want to get your opinion on something. I want to let you know something about me. And all of a sudden, she's going to start telling you about her passions. All of a sudden, you built that trust and comfort. And the reason why you do that, by the way, is because you have a good, at least, few-minute ride home, right? 3 to 5 minutes if you live in the suburbs. I'm sorry. But she's going to start thinking. That escalation, that sexual attraction is going to start to wear off. Why? Because the scene's changing. Her state's changing. She's not in the same environment. So all of a sudden, she starts thinking, oh, what's going to happen tomorrow? Is he going to leave me? Do I trust this guy? Who's this random guy I'm taking home with me? Where am I going right now? If you get her talking about her passions, she'll feel a little bit more of an intimate connection with you, feel that she knows you a little bit better, and she'll usually won't have that kind of, like, what the scene calls last-minute resistance. A few more things. If you really want to take someone home, you have to put in the hours. Especially when you first get started. You're not going to take someone home at 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. And I am talking about nightclubs. Same thing, you could do this at coffee shops, right? But that's a little advanced. But you have to be the last man standing. A lot of times, the dynamics change completely at a club from 11 o'clock to 2 a.m. People get a lot looser, their friends dissipate, they don't have the same social circles that they used to have. And you'll see a completely different scene. If you literally stand there at 10 p.m. to 1 a.m., the same people that were there are completely different people. They have completely different attitudes, completely different mindsets. So make sure that you're either going out later or knowing that you're going to put in some hours and don't get discouraged. Your first few hours at a club, if you get there early, should be just meeting people. I went out yesterday, not even meaning to take anyone home. And all I did was just cheers people for a while. Cheers and dance. And then it became 2 a.m. and I'm like, okay, cool. Now everyone's willing to have fun. I've already said hi to everyone. All I have to do now is go up and start talking. So when and where to go out? If you live in the suburbs, it was really hard. I lived at home for a while. I lived at home one semester in school. I say a while, but it really hurts your game. Your screening process then has to become, where do you live? Right? Who do you live with? So you have to take that into account. Or really cool app called Hotel Tonight. You get a hotel for $60 downtown. I spend more than that on cocktails. You want to go out near where you live, because then it's going to be a lot quicker to go home. You don't need to, but you're thinking logistically. There are bars around where we all live, okay? And there are going to be girls that are going to want to go home with you. So yeah, you want to go out downtown one night? Sure, go out downtown. Choose something else to work on. It's just don't set yourself up for disappointment, right? The next is alcohol. Know your limit. And when you're drunk, when you're drunk, who can you sleep with? You can sleep with drunk girls, or you think you can sleep with drunk girls, and that's about it. When you're not drunk, you can sleep with the bartender. You can sleep with sober girls. You can sleep with drunk girls, even though I don't approve of that. You can sleep with a hostess. You have literally limitless options. You can sleep with a girl that texts you at 3 a.m. when you're too fucking drunk to check your phone, because you're trying to hit on the bartender who doesn't care about you. It really helps to not be that drunk. Have a cocktail, have 2 cocktails, I don't care, but know your limit. Last minute resistance, I think we touched on that. You need me to go a little bit further into it. Just you have to build comfort. If someone says no, it's no. A lot of times if someone says no, I hate to say this, it's just sometimes what girls will say first. So you say, no, we shouldn't be doing this. To repeat what they say. No, we shouldn't be doing this. No, I shouldn't be taking off my shirt. But for them, don't do anything that they don't want you to do. Okay? If they say no, stop. And make sure that you communicate with that towards them as well. If a girl says no to you, you tell her, look, if you say no, that means I have to stop. What it doesn't mean, though, is you have to cuddle with her for 4 hours and sleep over at her place. So if she says no to you sexually, and you went home with her on a sexual pretense, you don't have to spoon her. Stay there. Let her sleep there. Okay, that's fine. But you don't have to give her the intimacy that she desires and the validation that she desires from just being there and that comfort. So choose what you want to do as a man, as a guy, that you'll feel comfortable with. Because she's not going anywhere. She's sleeping in your bed. She's going to see you. The same thing about alcohol. The only time I've ever had a girl not talk to me or not want to bring up sex or not have sex with me again is when I slept with her when we were both drunk. There's no other time. So think about that when you're taking someone home. Or when you start drinking yourself. Next, if you're just a player or you're not having sex with me tonight. It happens a lot. Girls say that because they're attracted to you. So sexually misinterpret that again. Or just misinterpret it. The worst thing you could do is focus on it. So if someone calls you a player, you know, oh yeah, I do play guitars. Okay? Oh, I do play basketball. Oh, I do swim. What about you? Are you just saying that? Players always say that. Or you're not having sex with me tonight. You know, we talked about this earlier. Can you stop thinking about fucking me? Look, I don't even know you. So one last thing. It's really, really important. Wear a condom. Please wear a condom. 1 in 3 people have an STD. Just putting that there. And it's not even just that, it's just that not only does it show respect for you, it shows respect for her. And in her mind, if you stop and wear a condom, you're a completely different man. I don't know how many times girls that I know complain to me, and they go, he kept pressuring me to have sex with him without a condom. And I know a girl that actually, she had sex with a guy with condoms, told him multiple times to have condoms, had sex with him one night she was drunk, he didn't use a condom, she won't talk to him ever again. So respect yourself, respect a girl. The only time you shouldn't wear a condom, you may make mistakes, is if you're in a relationship with a girl, then that's okay. Cool. If you want a book, it's $5. Also, I have Suave the podcast. You can find that on iTunes. Pretty much anything. I have Podcast Republic on my phone for Androids. I talk about pretty much everything with my co-host, from short episodes to grooming to internal development to even just like casual sex. You guys have any questions?